It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.
All right. Well, good morning, Australia, New Zealand. It's Friday night at my house in Connecticut. I'm Tommy Wyatt. I'm going to be your host tonight for our special happy coffee call. And thank you all so much for spending some time here with us. I know there's probably some guests on here that want to get some information about what's going on. I'm sure your friend's been talking about this crazy coffee that does all these miracle things. And I know it sounds completely unbelievable. And frankly, it's unbelievable to everybody until you try it. So, including your friend who's been talking about it. So I'll just kind of start and tell you my story real quick. I have been a part of this company now as an affiliate for 2 years. 2 years ago, I was in Dallas, Texas, and a friend of mine came up to me and started telling me, I hadn't seen him in a while, we were catching up, and he was telling me that he'd just become part of this company. And I said, what's the name of the company? And he said, it's called Ellepreneurs. And I said, what is it? He said, Ellepreneurs. I said, that's a silly name. What does it mean? I never heard of such a thing. And he said, it's elevating entrepreneurs. And I said, oh, okay, I guess, whatever, made up word. Okay. What do you guys market? What's your product? And he says, it's happy coffee. And I was like, okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be anything I'm interested in, but I'm glad it's working out great for you. Thanks for telling me about it. It's not really my sport. It's not my thing. Now, gang, first of all, it sounded strange to me. Happy coffee. That sounds weird. And I'm not a health and wellness kind of person. I am not interested in health and wellness products. I don't take vitamins. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm dumb for that. But I'm a bourbon and ribeye steak guy and chicken wings. I'm not interested in having milkshakes for breakfast and things of the healthy green things. That's just not me. So anyway, that's what I thought immediately when my friend told me about the coffee. And so he just said, do you drink coffee? I said, yeah. I drink coffee. I've been drinking it every morning for 35 plus years. And he said, here. And he handed me, well, this is the tub that it comes in now, but he handed me, it was in a bag at the time. And he said, here, take it. And he also gave me this little bottle. It says Xanthomax on there. I know you can't see it. It's kind of bright with the light. But he handed me these and he goes, here, try it out. See if you like it. And I said, okay, thanks. And I put it in my bag and I flew back home to Connecticut. And I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't like, I can't wait till tomorrow to try this happy coffee. No, it was a complete afterthought. I was not really that interested. I wasn't thinking about it. But guess what? The next morning, like all good mornings, I woke up and I did what I do every morning. I went downstairs to make coffee. It's the first thing I always do. I'm wired that way. I don't need to set a reminder. It's just something I do. And this particular morning, I remembered that coffee that my friend Mark had given me. So I went there, and again, it wasn't in the tub. It was in these little sticks. He didn't give me any instructions or anything. So I pulled out the little stick, and I ripped it open, and I guess okay, it's like instant. All right, and I poured it into a mug, and I filled it up with some hot water, and I stirred it up, and I put half and half in my coffee. So I poured in some half and half, and I stirred it around, and I took a sip, and I was like, all right, no, it's okay. Not the best coffee I ever tried in my life. Not the worst coffee I've ever tried in my life. It's okay. I can handle it. So I drank the whole cup. And I need to tell you, it didn't take 15 minutes after I finished that cup of coffee that it's hard for me to explain this, but I've explained it now every day for 2 years. So I'll give it a go. It's like the lights went on. It's like I had more focus, more clarity. I definitely felt more energy all day long. But for me, here was the crazy thing that happened. And I didn't have any expectations. That night, as I was getting ready for bed, I looked over at my wife and I said, hey, babe, you know what? I forgot to eat today. She said, what? And I said, yeah, I know. That's something I never said in my whole life. I can promise you that. I am a man of excess. I do everything big. And I never forgot to eat in my whole life. But I did forget to eat that day. And so I went to bed and I woke up the next morning and guess what I did? Went and made my next cup of coffee. And you know what? The second day it tasted a little bit better. Maybe I used a little bit less water. And, you know, my half and half. And it was a little bit better the second day. But I felt the same great way all day long. And I wasn't hungry. Now, this is important because I wasn't trying to go on a diet. I wasn't trying to do anything. But it just changed the way I thought about food. I wasn't thinking about food all the time. I wasn't wanting to go to the drive-through window and buy, you know, 2 hamburgers for $5. I didn't want to do all these. So I just didn't. And here's what ended up happening. After 30 days of just doing nothing different except drinking this coffee in the morning, and by the way, I told you about this pill, this Xanthamax thing. I never even opened it. Because like I told you, I'm not a supplements person. I didn't want it. It's a pill. I didn't want it. So I never even opened it. I just left it. I don't even know where I put it. But after 1 month of drinking one cup of this coffee every morning, 20 pounds came off me. I don't know what that is in kilos, but it's a lot. And it happened without me dieting, without me exercising, without me trying. I didn't change anything else about my life except for this coffee. So I called my friend Mark back and I said, Mark, I'm almost out of this stuff. How do I get more? And he said, I'll send you some. I said, hurry up. It's almost gone. And he did. He sent me some more. And I said, give me a link. I want to know more. I said, now I want to know about the business side of this because everybody I know is going to want this. It's magic. And so he had me come down to Texas again, and they were actually having a company convention. And when I went down there, I met everybody associated with the company. And, you know, for me, the most important things, I've been in network marketing and direct sales for 21 years now. So I've seen a lot. And, you know, I'm in my late 50s now, and I'm not really interested in a lot of the BS that I had to put up with before. And so I wasn't interested in anything that was all about hype and, you know, woo, holding up big paychecks on the stage, woo, 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 you know, fire your boss. I wasn't interested in any of that. Now, granted, I'm an entrepreneur, so I want to make money, but I don't want that garbage. So here's what I found. I found out that the culture of this company was so much different than anything I've ever seen before. The people were like real. The leaders who I was intentionally seeking out the top leaders in the company so I could meet them and just have a conversation. Nobody knew who I was, nobody. And I just want to see what the people were like. And, you know, I was so pleased. Nobody was, you know, hypey. Nobody was talking about money and things like that. You know what everyone was talking about? People were talking about they came off blood pressure medications. People were talking about they came off insulin. People were talking about coming off antidepressant medications. People were talking about they had Lyme disease and fibromyalgia and the pain went away. People were talking about menopause symptoms going away. And I said, the coffee? I didn't know any of that stuff was supposed to happen. I just knew that it gave me crazy energy and I felt great and I lost 20 pounds. That's all I knew. But I heard all these stories and it just like, it blew my mind. And these were real. These are people crying, telling these stories. And I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. Now I need to point out, and this is super important, we don't make any medical claims, okay? All those things I just said, I'm not saying buy this and that's gonna happen to you. Our product is not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases, all right? It's coffee. Here's what it is meant to do, and here's what I learned. I'm not a doctor. Shoot, I barely made it out of high school. I am not an analytical person. I don't know what the ingredients are in here, although it's on there. I can't see those little words, and I don't really care what they say. I'm right-brained. I just care how I feel and how I feel great, you know? If you're a left-brain person, I respect that, and you're analytical, and you want to know why, and you want to know what, and all those things, and that's cool. We have really smart people in the company that can tell you all that. As a matter of fact, you can just get the ingredients right off the website anytime for any of our products. But here's here's the layman's version, which, you know, is the way I just explain it to everybody. And it really makes the most sense because, you know, people will say, oh, you know, I tried it and it didn't work for me, or, you know, it doesn't work for everybody. No, that's not true. It works for everybody. It works for everybody, because here's what it does for everybody. When you drink it, it helps your brain, which we all have one, produce these happy hormones, which I never heard of happy hormones in my whole life until this company, but I did hear about the names of the hormones because they're dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. We've all heard those words. If you're like me, you didn't know what any of them meant. But you know what, like dopamine, that's like when you go, if you're a runner and you go running and you're like, you feel runner's high, you feel really great. I never went running. But I think I've felt rushes of dopamine in my life. But anyway, now I feel them all the time because now it's in my coffee. All right. Now I'm going to play a video real quick for you. For those of you who need like you don't want to listen to Forrest Gump over here. You want to really hear the experts. And that's good that we have experts. So I'm going to share this screen real quick and play this real short video so you can understand the scientific reason why this stuff is so cool.
May be the longest study in history. Harvard University has been studying happiness since 1938 in the ongoing Harvard Study of Adult Development. It's been tracking the lives of over 700 men and women for the past 77 years, and it's one of the most, if not the most, detailed and lengthy studies on happiness ever. The results are staggering and shows that happiness is not necessarily what you think. More recently, another Harvard alum and one of the world's leading experts on happiness is proving that happiness is an advantage. In fact, his research shows that happiness fuels success, not the other way around. We live in a time where there are more books being written on the subject of happiness than in the history of book writing. All of these studies, books, and research all seem to be coming to the same conclusion, and that is that happiness is really about two things: social connectivity and chemicals, and how our brain creates emotions via its network of neurotransmitters to release the chemicals or hormones that make us feel happy. Modern science, as well as neuroscience, the study of the brain, have known for some time now what these chemicals and hormones are: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Let's call these our positive neurochemicals. When your brain releases one or more of these neurochemicals, you feel good. As humans, we're always looking for ways to turn on these happy chemicals. Introducing DOSE. DOSE is the way to a happier, healthier you. DOSE is led by the world's first nootropic-infused instant coffee, along with xanthocumol. Combined, they are capable of getting your brain to release all four of these positive neurochemicals at the same time. Imagine being able to elevate your mood, feel more connected, have longer lasting energy, and feel more focus and clarity. Well, now you can. It begins with one of the most unique coffees in the world today, Elevate Brew. It's a functional beverage that can replace your current coffee or be added to it. Either way, its nootropic formulation includes natural and botanical ingredients that will elevate your mood and help stimulate those positive neurochemicals. Next, our bioavailable xanthocumol has over 300 research articles showing so many benefits to the human body that they're calling it the master molecule. However, the biggest breakthrough from this molecule that comes from the hops plant is that it's the only natural ingredient on Earth that will tell your body to release its own oxytocin, commonly referred to as the hormone of happiness. These two incredible products combined is what we call DOSE. Now, for the first time ever, you can stimulate your neurotransmitters to release all four of the positive neurochemicals that will make you feel better, feel more socially connected, and most of all, elevate your happiness. So if you're ready to gain the happiness advantage and become more productive with a greater sense of well-being and elevate your life, get your dose of happiness today.
And it helps you dance like those people there at the end. So, you know, what's important to understand here, gang, is that our product in this company isn't even coffee. Coffee is not our product. By the way, we have other stuff. We have for people that don't like coffee. There are some people that don't. We have a chocolate, you know, and we have a lemonade, and we have this tea now, this chai tea. So we're coming out with all these products. And, you know, I need to stress, I said before that I never opened the bottle of Xanthamax because I'm not a pill taker. As soon as I found out what's in this, because you just saw on the video how this is the oxytocin, which is the love hormone. As soon as I found that out, I said, oh, I need me some of the love hormone, you know? So I love the Xanthamax now. I take 2 every day. I take 1 in the morning, and I take 1 before I go to bed, and I sleep like a champion and have amazing, vivid dreams, which I really hadn't been having for years and years and years. But anyway, I digress. Our product, gang, is happiness, not coffee. And, you know, I think it's like, I think I just saw a stat where 6 out of 7 people in the world right now are unhappy and scared and stressed out and worried about everything. And maybe in Australia, New Zealand, you're not. I know they are in the US. But you know what? I think people everywhere are you know, there's so much unknown right now that people are afraid of the unknown. So we have a product that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy. What could possibly be better than that? So what I'd like to do right now is, I know we have some people lined up here who have some amazing testimonials. They've agreed to come on and tell us for a couple of minutes, you know, what these products and maybe even what this business has done for them. We only just launched in Australia in April. My goodness, you guys are babies over there. It's all brand new for you. And I know that, you know, it's exciting when a company launches something brand new, and, you know, I know it's not always smooth sailing, but it's been going pretty smooth, and it always gets better. What I want to do now is I have a list here of some people that are going to share with us, and I want to start off with Shauna. Shauna, are you there? Can you unmute yourself if you are?
Yes, I am here, Tommy. Thank you so much.
How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you very much.
Cool. Tell me about your coffee experience.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to share this. My coffee experience is just completely and utterly amazing, and it has just turned my life around 360 just in 8 weeks. I've been taking this 8 weeks. I can hardly believe it. It's only 8 weeks and only a tablet and only a drink. I take the chocolate. And I was randomly, I came across this because I was just going through Facebook and I happened to randomly answer a Facebook post. And so for me, to start off with, I thought, this is not going to work. It's not going to work for me. What a ridiculous thing to think. But what I noticed is part of that was really my deep-seated negativity that I had for everything. It didn't matter what it was. My default was negative. And before the coffee, or well, not coffee, the chocolate, but before that, I was also a warrior. I used to churn things over and over and over, relive everything. Now, my negativity has gone. It's just vanished. It's gone. My worry has just completely and utterly gone. I feel comfortable in my own skin. I can stand here and say, I am a worthwhile human being walking this planet. And for me to say that, that's a big deal. But it's just true. And even if I just have that much alone, it is worth it's worth everything. It's weight in gold for me. What I noticed though, you notice little things as you go along. So about a week in, I was talking to my lovely friend who introduced me to this, and suddenly I realized, hey, I'm not stuttering. So give this sort of situation before, I would hardly be able to string 2 words together. I'd be just, hold on, I'm moving the camera. But now stuttering is completely and utterly gone. And then for me, there's the physical things. Back pain since 18, gone. Hip pain, gone. But the other thing is I can balance. For the last few years, walking down the street, I've been losing my balance and been just really scared to walk down the street. Now I can walk down the street and I'm not scared of falling over. Now that might sound a bit weird, but my goodness, that's weight as gold as well. So I've got a whole A4 page and it's just listed with stuff and stuff and stuff. What I would just like to say is a little bit about when I first started this product. So I first started it and I got a reaction in 20 minutes. I stood in the kitchen and I just was shaking and crying for about 10 minutes thinking, oh my goodness, this actually might work. But what happened is that at the end of the first day, it was like all that wonderful stuff that I wasn't feeling anymore just built itself up and hit me like a brick wall at the end of the first day. And that happened again and again and again for about 4 days, to the point where I just gave up the coffee, the chocolate. I keep saying chocolate. I keep saying coffee, but I actually gave up the drink because it just threw my life around so much. And then 2 days later, my daughter, now I was looking at the kitchen, in the kitchen, at the piles of dishwashers, the dishes in the sink, and thinking, I just was so down, and oh my goodness. And my daughter just said, try the drink again. Just try it. It's sitting there. Try it. So I did, but no brick wall of pain. So from that point on, everything just gelled together. So what I would say is that you may be hearing this, you may have a sample. For people who send out samples, they're absolutely wonderful. But just if I had been given personally a sample for 2 days or 4 days, I would have said, no, thank you. It works, but it just sends my whole life into so much turmoil. So I always say to people, try it for 30 days. If you have anything, my hot flushes have gone, my digestive issues into my second month on it have gone, just so much. If I hadn't had 30 days in my system, I would have missed out on so much. So I've taken a bit of time, but oh my goodness, to be able to be comfortable in my own skin, happy and be a worthwhile person, even that knowledge is worth its weight in gold. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share, Tommy, and power to happy. Hey!
Oh, Shauna, that is so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. I can just see all the energy and excitement in your face, and you are absolutely a worthwhile person. And I'll tell you what, when you're in a business where you share coffee or chocolate, as in this case, with people, and they react like that, you're saying, you know what, I'm doing something good here. Even it's not just about you, it's about everybody else too. And that's one of the beautiful things about our company. So thank you so much for sharing that story, Shauna. I want to switch over now to Saliba. I can see you over there smiling and laughing at all my jokes. And can you unmute yourself and tell us your story, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for that. It's an honor and pleasure to be able to share with everyone with my happy coffee experience. Well, I had a call from a friend not so long ago. That was like I marked it down, 25th of May, 8th of May, I started this 4 samples she sent me. And she knew me from the past business we were together, that I was suffering from arthritis on my hip. I shared the story about 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with bad arthritis, and the doctors and my specialist were saying, go and get a hip replacement. But coming from a country where we don't look at that, we look at herbs and roots and leaves and whatever first before we get, diagnosed with any medication. So I hung on to that. Now, every winter I suffer from the pain and my joints, my feet, I have aches and pains all over. So my friend knew about this and she said, hey, have you heard about Happy Coffee? I said, no, what is it? And she said, well, I thought of you, so have a look at it. And everyone's talking about it. So I asked, thanks to Donna Alderman, the person she is. She's a bubbly, happy person. I've been watching her post on social media, and I saw Donna talking about this Happy Coffee. So I said, all right, send it to me. She didn't tell me what it was about, but she said just a happy coffee. And I said, happy coffee? I don't really drink coffee, but anyway, send it to me. So I started 4 samples. Within 20 minutes, I could feel like my mental clarity, like everything was just going down. And I thought, is that it? Or am I just imagining things? Because she told me it was happy coffee. Sure enough, about an hour later, I felt light, I felt happy, I was just singing away. And one thing that I love was working in my garden. I'm a garden person. I never did that for over 5 years because of the pain. I couldn't bend down, I couldn't lift stuff. Now my garden is so clean. I love getting in there, especially during winter time. That is where I have my downside of feelings. Not only that, I was not keen on taking this happy coffee, but after what it did to me within 20 minutes, and I could feel the next day, the pain wasn't there. I roll over on the side of my bed when I want to get out of bed to go to the bathroom, change of clothes. I find it hard. I got my family to help me, but that was the wonders that I found in that happy coffee. So within the 30 days, and it is 32 days today, I could feel a lot of changes in me. I have got, I've lost 2 kilos, actually 3 kilos, without realizing. It stops me from craving on sugar, which I love my cakes and all that. You know, I take sugar. I'm no longer taking sugar. I'm just happy. And I started taking it, and I have my own family in my home saying, oh, she's got a different attitude. Mom's so happy now. Everybody's happy. I got my husband onto it. It's just so amazing. I am not a medical profession. I'm not a doctor, but from what I see, I said, why not give it a try? And if this is helping me, I don't need any doctors, you know, stuff. So if you are thinking about getting onto this, give it a go. 30 days money back guarantee, you got nothing to lose. So that's what I am enjoying and sharing.
That's wonderful. That is great. Saliba, thank you so much for sharing that story. And, you know, gang, it's everybody's going to get a different type of reaction. Saliba's was like mine. It took 15 minutes and you knew it. You know, it's different for people because, you know, all of our brains produce those happy hormones already. And we have different levels. We all have different levels, and you don't know what your levels are. I don't think there's really a way to measure them. Maybe there is. But what this does is it fills them up wherever you're deficient. And the people who are deficient more probably feel it the fastest. I was probably empty in all of them. I don't know. But thank you so much for sharing your story. I love hearing that. And I love the arthritis pain too, because I've heard that a lot from a lot of my friends over the years, over the last couple of years. So thank you, thank you. You know, I want to move on now, and I see my man Darren. Darren, are you available to share, my man?
Sure am. Hey, Tommy.
How you doing?
Really good, thanks. So my story, we were introduced into this, and we saw a few testimonials in regards to kids and ADHD, and we were very interested in that in regards to our eldest boy. And he's been on the chocolate and definitely noticed some difference there for him, which is great. But our story, we got it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were pretty excited, like a couple of school kids within a lolly shop, and got stuck straight into it. And we had the Xanthamax and the chocolate. I had the coffee.
I have coffee.
Yeah, Ninan had the coffee as well. And we didn't have it with any high expectations or anything. We're just pretty open-minded about it. But within half an hour, we noticed something, and we were happier. We were giggling. And it felt to me like a lot of the reason why Aussies have a beer to take the edge off, you know, have a drink. It was a nice calming feeling. It was really good. It stirred up my sleep that night, but that's okay because I don't usually have caffeine in the afternoon anyway, as a rule. But then since I've balanced it out over the last, tested it out, taking the Xanthamax and the coffee different times of the day over the past 2.5 months we've been taking it. And my sleep is just so much deeper and solid. I was normally a pretty light sleeper, so that is just fantastic. And because of that, I've got better sleep, more energy, and a focus, just more mindfulness during the day, and also I've noticed within the past month, if I have a second Xanthamax, sometimes if I'm physical or a bit stressed, whatever, I've noticed that the second Xanthamax can really help and reduce a bit of backache even. And that's been really beneficial for me. And I think that's the main things, Tommy. When I first found out about it, I thought, okay, generally I look after myself pretty well, eat healthy and exercise a bit, all that sort of thing. But it was open-minded, and just to have those extra benefits into my life is just fantastic. So really grateful. Thanks very much.
You bet. That is wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing that, Darren. And yeah, the sleep thing is a big thing for a lot of people. I was the kind of guy who I would stay up late. I still stay up late. And I am not a morning person. I would always sleep as long as I could. Now, I haven't had a job in 21 years, so I have the ability to sleep as long as I want to, right? Well, when I started to drink this coffee, I drink it early in the morning. I would never drink it after 12 o'clock, but I started to wake up early. Like I started to wake up. I was going to bed late still at like maybe 11 or 12, and I would wake up at like 5 or 6. And this kept happening, and it was strange for me because I never wake up early. And, I called my friend Mark, and I said, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. I'm waking up early in the morning. And he said, well, are you tired all day? No. Are you tired when you wake up? No. I feel great when I wake up. So I didn't need all that sleep. I was just sleeping because I was lazy. Now, it's all changed. So thanks for sharing that. That made me think of that story. That's funny. Well, let's wrap up with Wendy. Wendy, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Tommy.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm a truck driver, currently on work cover due to a compression in my back from the seat of my truck not working properly. Then being transferred to a different section where there was a lot of manual handling, and this aggravated the initial injury. Also, being a single mum, I kept pushing myself, so we continued to have a roof over our head and almost everything we needed, along with a few wants along the way. At the height of my injury, I got to a stage where I was lucky if I could sit in one spot for 5 minutes, not even being able to sit long enough to enjoy my dinner. I was constantly moving from sit, stand, lean, lay, just to try and find some comfort. Sleeping was terrible. I'd be lucky to get 15 minutes at a time before I'd wake in pain and have to find comfort again, just to get another 15 minutes. And this would continue through the night. Then on the 13th of April, a lovely lady brought it to my attention, the product that may help with my issues. She sent me a 4-day sample and I noticed a difference in that short time. So as soon as I got paid, I placed my order. That order arrived on my doorstep on the 22nd of May. So I've been on the products for 5 weeks today. It's been an amazing journey so far. I haven't had boom effect like everyone else. I've had a creeping effect. It just creeps in and then it dawns on you. Hey, this is happening. Hey, that's stopped. I'm still on some of my pain meds, but the best thing so far, and the first thing I noticed, was my sleep. That first night I had sound asleep. I don't think I moved at all. I woke up in the same position I fell asleep in. The next night I had my first dream. I haven't dreamed for years because I haven't been able to get into that full sleep. Then the next night I noticed that I was laughing at my dream while I was still sleeping. And I'm waking up feeling rested and alive. I started noticing I was able to move a lot freer and easier. The pain has lessened. It's still there, but nowhere near like it was. I'm able to focus on a task and get it completed now. I don't think I've ever been that clear in thought to stick it to completion. And mind you, I have to go away and do something else to take away the pain for a little while and I go back to it, but I can actually finish the product. I have energy like I've never had before. I lay down to take the pressure off my back, and when I get up, I'm ready to go again. Not sluggish like I was before. And finally, negative is making a very quick exit from my life. For some reason, negativity would always rear its ugly head and was out of my mouth before I knew it. Not now. I seem to have a better grip on it and I'm able to make a stop. and process more times than not. And take that moment to rearrange the thought pattern and be a bit more positive. My life's really taken a turn for the better. Plus, I get to share this with my 16-year-old son. He had a scooter accident back when he was 12 and fractured his neck. Since then, his life seemed to turn upside down, had a lot of gut issues, mental health issues, didn't really want to be on the planet, just feeling sad in general, would rip your head off at the drop of a hat, and just didn't feel worthy. So yeah, he started taking the products the same day as me, and we've noticed a significant change in him. He doesn't snap now. He still gets a little bit crabby, as teenagers do, but I can have a bit of fun with him and not feel like I've got to watch what I say. His gut issues through the neurological side of his fractured neck, that's been a lot better. And yeah, he actually wears a smile on his face now. And to know my boy's feeling a lot better within himself, that's just enough for me. Thanks very much for that, Tommy.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that story, Wendy. And what's better than when you can help your kids, you know? And I mean, you know, happiness is important. You know, kids never listen anyway. I have kids too that were going through things with, you know, they're being anxious. My oldest daughter is 21 now, and she's anxious all the time. And I was like, drink it, drink it, drink it. And, you know, here's what's funny. She actually joined up in the business with me, gang. There is a business attached to this. If you're somebody who's just looking at this as a potential customer, try it out as a customer for a while. See what you think. You know what? If you don't like it, don't join. But I'll tell you what, you heard all these stories. And people, when they experience this stuff, you can't help. You need to share it with everybody. You know, you feel the responsibility to. You're like excited to share it with people because you know how life changing it is. Well, my daughter, who's 21 now, she was 19 when I joined. She was the first affiliate that joined the business with me, and all she did was go and share it with her aunts and uncles and grandparents, and they all became her customers. And her Aunt Melissa decided she wanted to join the business because her son, my nephew Tristan, it changed his life. He was 17 years old, and so they joined and started to build it. And next thing you know, guess what? It just started to happen, and it started to grow. And my 21-year-old daughter does not do the business. She's in college. She's doing her thing, and she makes an income of almost $1,000 a month for doing nothing. She shared the business with it. She shared the customer, you know, the products with her family members, and they just bought it because they loved her. But guess what? They ended up loving this stuff. So that's the overwhelming story of this company, folks. You know, it's a product that can change your life. I know this all sounds incredible. It sounds impossible to believe, and I wouldn't believe it if I was you either. But if it sounds good in any way, I would try it if I was you. You know what? You heard a couple people say, I think it was Shauna who said it first, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you get your money back. So I just tell people, look, you either get your life back or you get your money back. Either way, you win, right? So try that and see if that works for you. Now, I just want to close with this. Get back to your friend who invited you on here. Ask them for their website link. Go on, and they will show you how to, get the best deal that you can, and so on and so forth. There's some different things that you can do. What I do want to say, this is important. Do not, I know this is 2020, and everybody in 2020 does the same thing. As soon as they get off the Zoom, they go look on Amazon or eBay or Google. Don't go do that. Here's why. Our company does not sell on those platforms. Our company only sells through certified affiliates like your friend, okay? Will you find it on Amazon? Yes. You will find anything on Amazon. However, if you see it on Amazon, it's being sold fraudulently there, okay? By pirates. They're not certified. You will not get a money-back guarantee. You may get expired product, or you might even get an open container. And in this crazy world, you'd be a knucklehead to try that. So get back with your friend, give it a try. I hope I get a chance to hear some of your stories someday because I always love hearing them. Shauna, Saliba, Darren, and Wendy, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight, and thank you all for spending a little bit of time with us. We have recorded this. I will get out that recording as soon as I can. And hey, have an awesome Saturday. I have to go finish my Friday night now.
Thanks, Tommy.
everybody.
Thanks, Tommy. Great stuff, mate.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Truly
Great
excellent
stories,
presentation.
everybody.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
story.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye,
You're
guys.
amazing.
Thanks, guys.